Welcome back to the Jonestead. I'm Mary. Today is Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. And today I wanted to talk to you about Virginia Dominion Power. And if you live in Virginia, prepare to be paying more for your power bills every month. Because in April 1st, Dominion Energy Virginia put out a press release specifically stating that it proposes new rates to continue delivering reliable service and increasingly clean energy. And that increase in clean energy always seems to translate in an increase in cost to us, the consumers. And the Green New Deal, the only thing green about the Green New Deal seems to be the dollars that end up in the pockets of the people that are profiting from this. So this came across my desk today because it was specifically in the news. And it was WHSV put out an article this morning specifically saying Dominion Energy is looking to raise the cost of its customers' energy bills as part of its biennial review with the State Corporation Commission. Now, the State Corporation Commission is scheduled to vote on this. It's part of their biennial review, and they're scheduled to vote on this on September 2nd, 2025. And I'll also follow up before I end this video to let you know what you can do to communicate to them if you do not want to see your rates go up. Now, in going through this specifically, it states here, and this was also in their press release, the energy company, which is the largest in the state of Virginia, had a net income of $2.1 billion in 2024 and plans to spend around $50 billion for capital expenditures from 2025 to 2029. The reasoning for this rise in rates is due to the energy company seeking an increase in revenue and an increase in fuel costs. And the request to the SEC includes a $1.89 billion increase to its revenue base and an $859.5 million increase in fuel costs across 2026 and 2027. If the request is approved, a 15% increase in customers' electricity bills would take effect. For context, the average electricity bill for Virginians as of April 2025 is an estimated $153.22. If the increase is approved, customers would pay an additional $21.43 per month by 2027. So what I found interesting, and I did some other research because they're always seeking to look for more revenue. And I remembered recently, when was this? Just in February, Dominion says cost of Virginia Beach Wind Farm is up and customers will pay more. So they had a cost overrun of this project, but to the tune of $1 billion, which would be passed on to the consumers. Now, because it's a utility, they can only pass on a certain percentage. I think it's a certain percentage of the cost is being passed on to the consumers. But so they've had this overrun and this wind farm, which creates more environmental stress in the ocean and to the animals. And it's a terrible view shed. They're not productive, and honestly, you all have probably seen videos of them just collapse. They collapse, and then they end up washing up on shore, and they're hazards to people swimming in the ocean. Not to mention the sea life in the ocean. So this boondoggle is now at $10.7 billion and up from $9.8 billion. And so you have that cost overrun. And because this utility is so strapped for cash, their CEO is the highest paid in the utility industry. He's the highest paid CEO in the country. And I will add to that, according to Clean Energy, let's see here, where'd he go? Dominion CEO pay increased $6.6 million in 2024 as Virginians' electric bills soared, and that was the title of the article specifically. But I go back here. The CEO of Virginia Dominion Power, Robert Blue, received a $12.9 million in total compensation in 2024, which, as I said, is a $6.6 million increase. And another side note, I looked at their how the stock is showing, and of course there's an increase because they're requesting more financial assistance from their consumers that continually are getting strapped by these green energy policies. The other thing where you're seeing there's this constant push on these projects and these policies that are approved by the legislator on state and local levels that are basically shoved down the throats of the consumer, such as these data centers. And these data centers seem to be steamrolling forward, and they are going to put an extreme stress on our grid, but also they require an incredible amount of new infrastructure. And specifically, I wanted to point out in this article, which is in Virginia Business, and this one it talks about how they're increasing digitization, but also the data centers are the largest contributing factor to that growth, with power demand in this sector having doubled in the last 5 years and expected to at least quadruple over the next 15 years. Specifically, it says there, and so they're pushing for, let's see here, a typical 100 megawatt data center today can consume as much power as 25,000 homes. And power demand from data centers in Dominion service territory is currently equivalent to about 750,000 homes. In 15 years, data centers in Virginia are likely to be consuming as much power as 3 million or more homes. So that is an unbelievable impact. And again, we, the consumers, are being asked to dig into our pockets and help pay for it, with really on it without any consideration given to us. So the other thing that I have found interesting is because they're still moving, Virginia still is moving forward with some of their clean energy policies, which are extremely expensive and we pay for. Granted, the Green New Deal, through an executive order, has been eliminated, but these things still are rippling around. And I noticed specifically this article in the Thomas Jefferson Institute for Public Policy was talking about the transparency and the billing now with Dominion Energy. And I noticed our bills had changed last year, and specifically they had listed what's referred to as non-bypassable charges, which are, you can look it up what the description is. It's public. They're basically considered, you're helping to help other people pay their bills, and then what are considered in the benefit of the public, basically social services type programs, but also it's all of their green nonsense. So specific, as an example, our bill last year, these are some of the things that were listed that were additional fees to our power bill. The clean energy products and PPAs, that was $3.64. And then RPS, renewable energy, PGM, whatever that is, CCR coal ash closure, offshore wind, another fee, which was almost $6. And then universal service fee, deferred fuel cost, and that would not be non-bypassable. So all of these green deals were listed specifically, and people started noticing how the costs seem to keep increasing. Well, guess what? They don't show them anymore. So, but we're still paying for these wind farms and these other projects that they're continuing the data centers. But it's just not listed at all in a transparent manner, so you know exactly where your money's going and what you're paying for at the time. So anyway, I just thought it was very important that everyone be aware of what's going on. There's so much information out there. If you want to look up more details, it's easy to find. But a great question to ask is, well, what the heck can we do about it? Well, the first thing is stop electing people that keep wanting to push programs that are going to cost us dearly financially and only benefit a few people. And if we want, Virginia had a goal to be net zero carbon emissions. If anyone has a clue about photosynthesis, might understand that that's probably not a really healthy direction for the Commonwealth of Virginia. So here is what you can do. As I stated, the State Corporation Commission is holding their hearing the hearing is on September 2nd, 2025. And you can submit comments until August 26th, which is just next week. And you can go to their website, which is the State Corporation Commission, and go to submit public comments and just scroll down and you'll find the hearing. Again, it's on the 26th and right here. It's application of Dominion Energy Virginia for a 2025 biennial review of the rates, terms, and conditions for the provision of generation, distribution, and transmission services. And then you can click right here to submit your comment. And so they do take those into consideration. I can tell you that firsthand, that sending in a public comment, a review, they have to take those into consideration. And those are also part of the public record. So if they ignore that, eventually that will come out. But unfortunately, based on the history that I've seen with the ACC, they tend to go in the direction that Virginia Dominion requests of them. But as a citizen, you have an opportunity to have a voice about it, and that's the way to do it. So appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day.